Hello and welcome to another episode of Paper Traders. I am your host Eric and I'm here with Danny. And while you're sitting here in the very beginning before we get into things, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, and get in on the conversation so you can get in on the conversation every week. This has been kind of chaos for some people, but for the most part, I don't know.
I can hear it in your voice. It's very somber of the news that we're getting here lately.
So tired of it. I'm sure you guys are too. Just coronavirus, COVID-19, blah, blah, blah.
It doesn't
blah,
help
blah,
that we're in kind of a news-related career here, and we're constantly being surrounded, and we're constantly talking about it. It feels like we're definitely harping on one subject for, I'd say, the past good month. There's not really been anything cutting through the news other than that. And I would say with good merit. I mean, people aren't going absolutely crazy like it's the end of the world, but they're having cautious behaviors that are impacting the economy. And that's kind of what we're going to just kind of touch on today. We're not going to dive too much into it. We're not coronavirus experts of any sorts.
Nope.
So we'll briefly touch on what's kind of impacting the market, what's going on, and kind of go from there. I'm sure you guys out there have a lot of comments. I don't know if you're sick of it as much or if you're as concerned as a lot of people are. Chime in, like Eric said in the beginning here. Send us your comments. Let us know how you feel about this kind of ongoing issue that is kind of plaguing the entire globe at this point. It's not just a one country. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here staring at the board, so if anybody's got anything to say, please give us something else to talk about other than coronavirus, because the only silver lining I can find to this whole thing is if anybody had any plans to travel anywhere in the next, say, 6 to 8 months out, buy your tickets now. If you live domestically in the United States, I was reading you can save 30%. I was traveling this past weekend. Airports are empty. Planes, I got an upgrade on every transfer. It was amazing. Like, take advantage. Like, seriously, take advantage and get your cheap discounted tickets for this summer now, because the airlines are hurting.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I'm supposed to, well, I haven't bought my ticket yet, but I'm supposed to travel at the end of the month here. But I'm kind of cautious myself. Like, I'm not worried per se about getting the virus, because from what you read, it's more like the flu. I myself in my demographic will be okay. Go to the hospital, get what you need, do all the right things. But I still feel like there's this underlying like scratch in the back of my head saying, maybe you should just take that extra step of precaution and not travel. So
I'm not a professional either in the medical field, but I do come from a family of professionals, 3 doctors and a nurse, all in the same family, immediate family, I should say.
Yeah.
And my brother was just traveling this weekend to a doctor's conference. So if none of these people are telling me not to travel, I am not concerned.
You're not wrong. The world is not coming to an end, like we said, but there are some impacts. I'm surprised that the conference was still going on, because I keep constantly hearing about new things kind of shutting down.
I don't think they shut the party down in Miami. That's where he went. He went to Miami for the conference. I don't think they shut the party down there ever.
Okay. Well, hey, I mean, again, there's a lot being closed, and kind of alluding to that. We know that Italy, I feel like the whole country is being shut down at this point.
It is shut down.
It
closed its borders. Like, everybody's on a self-quarantine.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty crazy over there. And I remember it was about a week ago, they started shutting down the schools. And I remember in the office here, finally, they're starting to take those precautions. And then about a week later now, here in the beginning of the week, like you just said, the whole country is completely closed off from the rest of the world for good reason. They're trying to get a hold on their outbreak. And the United States is taking a little bit of the same precautions, it seems like, even though we're not having that same, I guess, situation that they are. We have places like Coachella being shut down.
Oh, you had to say it, didn't you?
Well, I mean, it is something that's going to impact a lot of things. A lot of people have bought into these things. A lot of companies
I'm sure
have
Budweiser and Miller are just heartbroken.
Well, I mean, it's not being heartbroken. It's just these things will impact bottom dollars. With conferences being shut down, you also have universities across the country being shut down. I know my school I went to, Ohio State, they sent out a bunch of emails saying don't come back to school until I think it was like April 6th or something. And I know a lot of schools are in the same boat. So we're starting to kind of see that ripple effect in our economy. And today, speaking of that, something more kind of down to home here in Illinois, they shut down all of the parades that were supposed to be going on for St. Patrick's Day. Our state here just declared what their version of a state of emergency is yesterday. So I think, again, we're just starting to see that ripple effect, and it's starting to hit, I think, more home, and it's affecting the stock market very rapidly. As you can obviously see, a lot of people have been up and down in the market here. It's been absolute chaos. Some days we're up, some days we're down. Today is a down day here. So not much of an investor's paradise, but more of like I feel like a day trader's paradise.
I would disagree, and I think our commander in chief here, Mr. Matris, would also disagree. This is actually a great time for people to take a look at stocks that they've wanted a piece of for a while, and now you can get them at a pretty good discount.
That is true.
I mean, that's for those that are interested. We just did our Zacks Ultimate Strategy session this last week, and Kevin Matris does a section in there where he goes and, sorry for those of you that aren't Zacks Ultimate members, but here's a semi-plug. It's not the plug that we're supposed to be doing today, but
a plug is a plug.
Yeah, for Zacks Ultimate, you get a monthly they call it strategy session, which is usually almost an hour-long program, which goes over opinions and in-depth looks at certain things. But Kevin's piece specifically talked about what's going on, and I mean, he was hot to get out of the studio to go by.
Yeah, he was. That is very true.
So the feeling we have here basically is if you have a stock that you've been looking at, like I was actually going to take a look, pardon me, I was going to take a look at Boeing this morning before I walked in. Let's take a look to see now. I mean, we knew it was above 300 before. Where's Boeing now?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I feel like it's one of those things, I guess I worded it wrong. You don't want to fall on that proverbial knife trying to catch the bottom.
But if you can get a discount from where it would have been at its high, that's a win.
I 100% agree, because I am in that boat. I am watching. I'm just not as eager as
look at
some
this.
Investors are.
Actually, I'm going to add... We'll get into that.
Oh, man.
I mean, look at that.
You're going to hate me, Eric. Your thing is frozen. So we were having some technical issues here before, trying to get his computer
we'll get into it in the battleground. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing but really good news for people that were ready to jump in on certain stocks and didn't have it at the price they were going to pull the trigger at. I mean, I don't know what...
What's it currently at right now?
205.
Wow, that's off big time of it.
Right.
That's a 52-week low.
Right. So, I mean,
or close to it.
We'll take that to the battleground, but let's take a look at Tesla real quick. I bet you Tesla, for those people that were, not able to get in when it was like roughly 700, which people were equating it. Look at it now. It's at 641.
TSLA. Here, I'll see. My computer's a little bit slower than yours, but we can still accommodate.
So, I mean, if you were scared to get in because it was at 700, now you can get in at 641. That's a discount.
Yeah, I have a few stocks that are on my radar. I know we're kind of going into the battleground. You just want to jump into it?
Let's go through the news yet and kind of talk what we have and give people a chance to formulate any questions. Mike Peters, yeah, same thing. Mike said in the same boat we are. Hey guys, some of those cruise lines are looking pretty cheap. LOL. Yeah, for sure. Like, if you were looking to get into an airline, it's not like airlines are going to shut down and you're never going to see an airline again.
Yeah.
The worst thing that could happen is some M&A and you end up getting another airline that's better.
Yeah, I mean, the airlines are definitely getting hit hard. I know they were saying this is like one of the worst.
They're down 30%,
that happened
which is huge.
Since 9/11, which... I mean,
I saw that headline too, but I feel like even that's a little bit dramatic.
I mean, in general, that's a dramatic, but I think they had the comparisons there showing that these kind of...
I think weirder is what I saw is what they're doing, which I feel like is, if I were a shareholder, I'd be kind of ticked off in one way. I don't know. It seems extremely wasteful, but they do this thing called ghost flights, where they try to keep their...
Ghost flight?
Yeah, they have to have so many flights coming in and out of their terminal to keep their like scheduled times or whatnot. Something to do with like basically you might lose your spot. So now to maintain those spots, to maintain that they're getting flights in and out of there, they're flying empty planes.
Wow.
Like that
Can I
seems
get a
like
first class flight, please?
you probably
for
could if you could
free?
figure out which one of the. I mean, they're probably not to great places, but I mean, like you probably could figure that out. There's got to be some algo out there who's like, oh, well, you can get a
Yeah.
flight to Alaska right now
They'll
for
fly
like
you
$50.
in. Yeah, they'll fly you an hour from the border to Italy, and they'll just be like, dump you there.
Well, no, it's domestic. It's not international. I'm sure there's international discounts to be had as well, but like at least domestically, you can get a flight for really cheap right now. I mean, I went to Virginia over the weekend, and it cost me half of what it probably should have.
Yeah, I was looking at flights to Minneapolis, and they were like $90.
Yeah.
Round trip. And I was just like,
yes.
That's why I'm like, should I
Sold.
buy it? Yeah, I don't know.
Ding.
I feel like this underlying scratch in the back of my head that it's just like, maybe you shouldn't go on an airplane. Like, how clean.
Well,
are
and
those
that's the
things?
thing. So you could take the gamble and go now, which obviously I took the gamble.
Yeah.
Or you could still lock that ticket down for a future date. So I mean, it's not like it's a loss to anybody really. Like you get that option to, basically set yourself for a vacation in the future at a pretty nice cheap rate now.
Yeah, I mean, look.
And they were saying the price is supposed to go like that through the summer. So that means like for me, for like snowboarding season, I could potentially, if I plan far enough, get like a pretty good flight.
And oil prices are down. Hey. That's
Yeah.
like a double whammy there on
Right.
the airline. So bad news for them, good news for us as consumers because we can get everything cheaper.
Right.
Cheap.
And like we were talking about just a minute ago, like this is not a reason to freak out. Like once we do get into the battleground, we can talk more deeply about it. But like look at this as a buying opportunity on stocks that you were looking at getting into before that were too expensive. I mean, this is fairly reasonable time to just take a cost perspective. If you're getting 10% off, 15, if you're talking airlines, you can get 30% off of them. Buy in.
Yeah.
Like take advantage of that. There's stocks that I'm looking at, but it is, and you and I talked about this a little bit before we even got started. Like you don't want to catch the knife, but if the stock was at, we'll just use Tesla as an example. But if your stock was at that one's actually probably a bad example because it was at almost $2,000 at one point. But if you were,
Tesla,
yeah,
it was almost $1,000 it hit.
Oh.
That was its. It was like at 940 or something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, that's probably a bad example because of how volatile that one's been recently. But if you were looking at something like fairly steady and it's come down 15%, and you're like, I don't know, this is a good time to get in because even if it does go down a little bit more, like okay, fine, you lost a little bit more of the discount, but you're still gonna be able to get that bounce back.
I mean, look, the markets are down. I'm looking at it right now. For the month, you got the Dow Jones down 17%, S&P 500 down 17%, NASDAQ down 16%. So everything
have you
is
seen
falling
anything?
and everything is becoming on a discount. So I feel like, again, if you are looking at Tesla, which I am personally, when I saw it kind of skyrocket, I felt that FOMO, fear of missing out. And like you said, I've definitely been cautious. Again, don't want to jump in too early, but I'm excited to get this kind of discount on the market. I'm sure a lot of people are as well, but I wouldn't be running for the hills if I was a long-term investor.
I mean, there's still a lot of people trading if you look at volumes. I mean,
this is like a day trader's paradise,
right.
I feel like.
That's
Up
what
and
I'm
down.
saying.
I mean, the movement is
Right.
insane. So
now, granted, that's not what we're doing in this program. This is not
No.
the idea. We're not here to day trade. We're here for the long term. But like, if you're into day trading, or if you've got some money to spend and you're looking at some stocks, like, and something's going to happen, take that gamble, man. I mean, that's how billionaires are made. Now, granted, you're not going to make $1 billion on a couple $1,000 investment.
what do you
but, I
think?
mean,
You're Warren Buffett?
sometimes people just have a gut feeling on stocks and they win. I mean, I've read multiple articles that say that sometimes a monkey can pick just as many stocks as a professional. So it really comes down to what you know. And I mean, if you know something about a stock or you happen to have some idea what's going to happen, I mean, well, man, how many huge investments have been missed?
Yeah, I think what I'm kind of getting from that is that if you believe in this economy and that we're going to bounce out of this kind of whirlwind we're in right now with the coronavirus and the fears and what's going on, look at the companies that you think are strong, those blue chips, those kind of leading industry companies. Those are the ones that I would be looking at. They're the ones that are going to kind of bounce back and really kind of go back to their normal market value. Again, this is more in my mind a correction. So Yeah, we'll see. I kind of want to jump in the battleground because there's a few stocks that I want to mention that I
Yeah,
would
but
look at.
before we do that, let me go into what we got really quick here for questions. But Childu, I'm sorry, but yeah, we're not professionals medically, so we can't really comment on the coronavirus thing. And I would agree, there is no real panic in the United States yet. There's still just a lot of precautionary measure talk for the most part. But with that, let's just get into the battleground. I don't think we can really comment anymore on that stuff.
No, I agree.
So, I mean, I'm just gonna flat out just say my portfolio's not looking good. I don't know if you can see can you see my computer now or no?
No, I'm
No.
slowly pulling up your
Yeah.
portfolio here, and I will
I mean,
show it on my
I'm
screen.
down. I mean, I'm bad down for in terms of if this were a short-term portfolio, I should have pulled the trigger on a lot of these and gotten rid of them. But I am 100% attributing all of this basically to the coronavirus scare. These were positions I was in before. Everybody should know where they're willing to cut and run basically. But with these, I'm sure these are going to bounce back. So I'm just holding. I mean,
Yeah, we're looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Just big down 6%, 6%, 5%.
if I were a short-term trader, I would have been scared. But
I love doing that. It's just the music sounds so good.
if I were a short-term trader, I'd be scared. But I'm really not that scared. I know that this is all stuff that within a month or two is going to probably cancel out. Really, once all this kind of stuff calms down, I'm sure I'll be either back or I'll be up. So, with that though, I mean, everybody here knows that I've been looking at Boeing, BA for those following. I think I want to say it was at like 312, maybe even 314 at one point when we were looking at it on the show.
Yeah, it was a
I'm
high
just
flying stock.
I don't know if you're going to show it from your angle, so I'll just try to quickly pull it up so I can get a last idea of roughly when we were looking at it. So the high back in November when we probably started was 371. Right now it's taking a pretty big dip because of everything, and it's sitting at 205. So
yeah, they're probably one of the stocks that are, in my opinion, probably getting hit the worst. I mean, would you not say, with the oil kind of fight that's going on with the coronavirus and
they
people
even
not
took
traveling?
even a harder hit recently. Last week, it came out there was another problem with the 747 Max, which again, you and I have talked about. We should just they should just cut and run with that one, boys. Like, it's been 2 years. Like, you should have probably come up with something new instead of trying to fix the thing that was doomed to begin with. But with that though, again, they still have all these government contracts. From what I've read, the contracts basically make up like 2/3 of what they make. So I'm not really worried because our government's constantly going to need new stuff, so to speak, because some of the stuff we don't even know about. But with that, with it being at 205 right now, I am going to put my money where my mouth is when I'm saying that. Well, I guess put my paper money where my mouth is. Except for those that know that we're not actually trading these for real. Some of these positions we do have, but not specifically this one for me. But I'm gonna add this to my portfolio because this is something I've been watching, and with that huge discount, I'd be an idiot not to get in because it's gonna bounce back right up. So I'm not gonna put I'm not gonna put a ton of money into this holding, but I'll probably do like 3 or 4 shares just to help get myself up to that $5,000.
All right. Well, I mean, that's definitely a play. They're down very big today, almost 11%. So you're definitely taking a gamble, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes for you. And I wish you the best of luck because I know I'm still a little nervous with this market and the way things are kind of panning out.
For me, I'm seeing almost a third discount, so I'm going to take that.
Yeah, I mean, the stock has definitely been smashed down, in my opinion, and this is more than a discount. It's trading at a very attractive valuation. So kind of moving along to my portfolio, I'm in the same boat. I didn't get hit as hard, but I think it's due to me having a bit of a leeway. I had, I think, about a 10% gain in my portfolio, so a little bit of a help. I'm down 12% today, or almost 13% total. As you can see, I'm in the same boat with the prices going down 4%, 3%. So everything's kind of getting hit. Global market, or the general market, is getting kind of smashed. Our biggest kind of losers here are Disney and Square. Square completely got smashed down back to the low 60s again. unfortunate, but that is a company, like Eric was saying, these things will bounce back. I believe that this is more or less a correction in the market and not something that's going to be a long-term thing. So something that those companies, I'm excited just to see the money. So once I feel comfortable with kind of how the market is going, I'm going to start adding on to the positions I have now and possibly adding in maybe a little Tesla and maybe some Facebook or Apple. So some type of companies like that, again, leaders in industries, things that I'm confident will bounce back strong and continue to do what they've been doing for the past decades. So that's kind of where I am. I'm not adding anything because I don't feel like it's done yet. I feel like the scare could get worse for the U.S. I feel like we're just touching it. I hope it doesn't. I'm not saying it will, but I just feel like there's a possibility investors could get scared again.
Yeah.
So
agreed. Let's get into the final questions here, guys, just so because we don't really have anything else going on. We're not going to really try to sit here and hold you to it either. So let's just address what we got on the table. What if the Fed rate drops to 0? I mean, there's a chance that could happen. With saying that they just cut it, I would say that things would really have to drastically change for them to take the Fed rate down to 0.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to balance things out right now. And obviously, people are taking advantage of it with the mortgage rates.
Oh, yeah.
I know my sister's refinancing.
I just saw that applications are up 55% from last month.
They're very smart people to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Take advantage of it. If you got a mortgage, take a look at your loans today because now is literally the time to do it before it's too late. So, I don't know. I don't think it's going to go to 0. No.
Childu, you mean bank stocks will be hammered? I don't know what you're speaking about in particularly. I don't know if the bank stocks are going to be really too hard hammered by this. I mean, there's going to be a lot of lending to fix all this.
Yeah, and again, I think the leaders like the J.P. Morgans, Wells Fargo's, there's a lot of strong banks out there.
Right.
Maybe the smaller ones might be hurt more. The small cap banks.
Probably the small cap banks for sure, but the larger, bigger banks, I don't think they're going to feel much of this. Old people pull out their cash. I mean, there is a possibility of that. I don't think we're really in the fear of that yet. I think most analysts are basically looking at this as a correction. You do hear some whistleblowers are trying to say that this is some sort of, bear correction, but I don't see that, and neither does anybody here at Zacks. I mean,
no,
we're still as bullish as ever. It's just that currently, with everything that's going on, it's just dragging down the economy, and we're going to eat it for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I talked to my father the other day. He's retired. He has like the whole 401k, the retirement fund, all that good stuff. And I was asking him about if he was thinking about pulling out due to him being retired. His cash is kind of more. I mean, he's not going to have the 30 more years of working to add on to it. So it's a little bit more kind of cautious play with that. And he is still in it, long-term play. So I don't think that the retirees are running for the hills yet. They're kind of in the same boat we are. They feel confident that this is going to be bouncing back. And he was in a buying mode. So
I feel that I'm not trying to say I'm old, but I've seen this before in the markets before. I mean, we've seen other diseases come through that have caused issues. It just seems that everybody's being a little bit more reactionary to this one. So that being the case, we're seeing a larger correction faster. I mean, in a weird way, I do kind of blame social media for some of this because it's just so inflated that people are getting anxious.
Yeah, it's meme after meme right now.
Right.
I know I saw one in Memphis. It was kind of funny, the video that got posted. It was this girl with like trash bags all over, and the moms were spraying their kids with like Lysol. And it was the most weird video, but it was real. Like,
dude,
people are freaking out.
I'm
and they're
not
taking
even
all precautions.
kidding. I saw a headline this morning of some model that apparently went on a plane in a full hazmat suit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, are you kidding? You're laughing, so but it's funny that it's real.
If I saw that, it would be comical.
Oh,
right?
man.
I'm sure she was getting looks. Right?
I'm laughing at people that are wearing the masks now, especially because it's come out multiple times that those things aren't helpful.
The physicians are literally coming out and be like, stop it, guys. Like, those are to prevent things from coming out of their mouths. So preventing people from spreading it, not actually getting the disease.
It's ridiculous, and people are being very reactionary about it. I'm not scared. I'm not saying go out and lick a telephone pole, but
no,
seriously, guys, like, if anything, just wash your hands.
No, but you know what? CVS is probably doing great right now because every time I've gone in there the past 2 weeks, they still have that sign up that says we're out of face masks face masks.
Masks.
Right? That's all, folks. And they're out of all hand sanitizer, like completely sold out.
And
I
that's
find
what I'm
that
saying.
insane.
It's so beyond reactionary. I mean, hoarding this stuff, like how many times, and the grossest part is how many of these people probably don't use those like things ever on a normal
Oh my God.
basis,
I don't
you know?
want to know. I don't want to.
Like, guys, just wash your hands into the bathroom.
Take the normal
after
precautions.
after you go out in public, you know, after you sneeze.
Yeah, don't rub your hands all over the poles in the trains. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, seriously.
I try to not touch anything in the train.
As
That's
a
just
person,
always,
as a
always my
person that
thing I
takes
do.
public transportation, I will tell you that every time I hear somebody cough or sneeze without covering their mouth, I am just disgusted with them as a human being. My 5-year-old niece knows she calls it the vampire. She knows to go right into
Oh,
the
really?
elbow.
That's funny. The vampire.
Oh my God.
That's a good. Maybe we should start teaching adults that one.
Maybe we should.
The vampire, you know.
But I mean, like, seriously,
Because they already do the dab, so it's kind of like halfway there.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know.
Just
Just a
go and seriously, folks, just be safe and don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all gonna pass. We'll be through it soon enough. And with that, I think we should get out of here. We're starting to sound
As you
like
can
we're
see, Eric is completely done talking about the coronavirus here.
so tired of it. I knew coming into today too. I was like, my portfolio is gonna be so down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones in this boat. Again, people aren't running for the hills yet, so I feel like we're still in a position to buy the discount.
So with that, guys, you know, like, subscribe, comment. Please don't ask us any more questions about coronavirus. I just can't take it anymore.
Oh God.
I'm having a hard time reading my newspapers, and that's annoying. But anyway, like, subscribe, comment, tell us to get off the air if you want. Also, don't forget, if these stocks aren't cheap enough for you right now, Zacks has a deal at Zacks.com/promo for the stocks under $10, to where you can sign up to see, I think it says for a month, and you get to see all the trades, all the alerts that are going on for the stocks that are under $10 that they believe are going to blow up. I mean, I think I saw one in that listing that, you know, we have a second. I'm going to look it up. I remember he said they had like 141% gainer in there.
Yeah, they got some pretty good gains.
And this is run by Brian Bolin.
Yeah, Brian Bolin knows what he's doing. He picks some good home run stocks that tend to do very well. So if you want to check it out, now is definitely the time. So.
God, I can't find it. I know I saw it down somewhere in there. But yeah, there it is. Lattice Semiconductor. So, I mean, he killed that one. So, guys, check that out. Zacks.com/promo. Stocks under $10. And with that, I don't know if we're going to have anybody on next week. We will see. I kind of feel if things continue, we probably will bring somebody in from a little bit more professional perspective to kind of get deeper into
breakdown.
things. Right. And I will try talking to Kevin, but it's not likely. But we'll see. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Wash your hands.
Peace.